Hey everyone, Clueless Dad. I'm in Japan and I bought a Japanese no-spill mug cover that I wanted to unbox for you guys today. So this is called Butatto mug, and as you can see, it goes on top of cups and mugs that you might have at home and keeps them from spilling for little kids. And so it says it fits for anything between 7 and 10 centimeters, and it has a 7mm straw hole. As you can see, it is clear plastic, and it says here this is the super clear type. I guess they have colored ones and other types as well. So it says here in Japanese, no spill, as you can imagine. On the back it lists a couple of use cases, so it's not just for kids. It can be used in the office so you don't spill stuff on your computer. If you are drinking in bed and you want to knock it over in the middle of the night. And then obviously the case we care about, which is kids who have no control over spilling. So there's a couple things on here, obviously some instructions and some info on usage and non-usage. So basically you can wash it in the dishwasher. Apparently it's safe for the microwave. It's good for glass, it's good for plastic, and it's good for ceramics. And then what it's not good for is paper cups, and it says basically soft cups, I guess things that are flexible or not stiff. And last but not least, the thing that really disappoints me, it's not good for carbonated items. So no soda. I don't know, I guess soda might eat through it or something, or somehow fizzes up and leaks. And then it says also not good for hot things, so don't try to give your kid any coffee. But I can imagine for adults, maybe they want to drink their coffee in the car or something, so they try this, but don't do it because it says not to. And this one is actually made in Korea, not made in China. So that's a plus for it as well. Okay, so let's pop this guy open as best we can. There we go. And it's surprisingly floppy. So I guess that's how it fits on smaller cups. That was one of the questions I had, was, it looked like it was pretty stiff, but apparently it's flexible. So let's try it. I have a glass which appears to be right about the same size as this thing. So let's just slip it on. I think it's better if you put it down when you do this, but because my camera's pointing this way, I'll do it this way. Okay, so I could see how this thing works, because it's basically like a big rubber band fitting around here. So as long as you have it tight, it won't leak. This glass is maybe a little bit small, but let's tempt fate and try it with a little bit of water, just a little bit. Okay, so now I've got just a tiny bit of water in here, because I know it's almost definitely going to leak if I haven't done this perfectly for this glass, which is not quite big enough. So as you can see, like, it can fit on but not be flat on the lip. Okay, so I think I pretty much got it flat on the lip. And let's tempt fate. This is my favorite part of these videos, when I really push it. So there is basically the straw hole, as you can see, you guys can see it there, is a hole, so it's not a flap, so it'll definitely leak if you flip it up that much. But as you can see, I am putting the water here and it's not leaking. So even for this size cup, basically works. You just have to make sure they're seated right, I guess. And let's just prove it's really water in there. Oh, pretty good. So even though I've got it totally upside down, I guess if I had put more water in there, it would be maybe dripping, but right now, not really dripping. Maybe a little bit, maybe a couple drops. Yeah, I think we have basically a pretty good seal. So even though I didn't get the edge quite perfectly on this glass, because it's not quite big enough to stretch over it, as long as you yank it down, it seems to hold pretty well. One kind of disconcerting thing is you can actually see, maybe not in the video, but you can see where it's really has an airtight seal and where it doesn't. so you can kind of see how precarious you really are. But didn't leak, so can't really complain. Okay, so that was with a glass. Let's try it with a mug. So this is a slightly larger mug, so this one should definitely work well because you really have to stretch it across the top, and therefore it should have a good seal. So if you really want to get it perfect, you can stretch it so that the edge pretty much matches perfectly the lip of the cup, and as you can see, works pretty well, no leaks. One concern though is in cases where you have a mug with a handle, you get something like this where, you know, basically it's stretching across the handle, and there might be a potential for it to leak here because it's not, first of all, not covering as much, and it's kind of bunching up right there. So, you know, hypothetically, this would be the easiest point for it to leak. But pretty good, and it's basically a pretty, you know, solid seal all along here. So I'm going to temp fade again. And no leaking, not even any dripping from the straw hole, so that's pretty good, or the little air vent. Okay, so there you have it. This is the Butatto mug no spill cover. As you can see, works pretty well. I can get it to drip a little bit if I shake it enough, but hardly nothing. So it definitely passes the spill test. I don't remember what the price is, so I'm going to have to look it up, and I'll put it right below. But I'm sure it was super cheap. We bought this at Nishimatsuya here in Japan. I know they export these types of things to a lot of other Asian countries. I've seen pretty much everything from pigeon and whatnot sold in one way or another in Hong Kong, and I'm sure they're also sold in Taiwan and a lot of other countries. So this one gets the Clueless Dad thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you have any experience with this, good or bad, please let us know. And don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos here on the Clueless Dad. See you next time. Bye.